Right.
So
Right.
if there's ever been a case of a door-to-door religion salesman getting disabused of their religion by some atheist whose door they come to, right, and going away a non-believer, if that's ever happened, I'd sure love to hear of it.
Oh, that'd be a great story.
As far as I have never heard of such a thing. I suppose it's remotely possible.
And it's not because we aren't right, it's just because it takes a long time, I think, to unlearn all this baggage and get rid of all this baggage. And it's not an epiphany sort of thing at all.
But one word of caution. I've heard a lot from believers about encounters they've had with non-believers who did not know their stuff, who did not argue well, who passed on hearsay that could easily be disproved, right? Who did a bad job, who resulted in that believer going away more certain that they were right.
Yep.
So be careful.
Yep.
Okay, shall we go on?
Yeah.
We got Timothy in Gainesville, Florida. Timothy, are you there?
Oh, hello, yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, thanks for waiting.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm a big fan of your show and everything. The first time calling in.
Good.
I wanted to say, on the topic of the prosperity gospel, it seems very similar to a type of scam that's been going on the internet for the past decade or so. It's the Nigerian 419 scam. Are you familiar with it?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
It's called an advanced fee fraud.
Yeah.
Let me just brief the viewers what this is. It's basically you see these in emails all the time that there's this big pot of money. I'm some dignitary. If you apparently have your Skype or some sort of feedback going, so if you can look into that, please do.
Okay, yeah, I'm on Skype.
Okay, so this advanced fee thing is there's this big pot of money, and I trust you, and you're going to invest it for me, and you're going to have it in your hands soon. We just need to get some financial information from you, some. There's been a snag. We're going to need some money to release this, and it's kind of nickels and dimes holding this bait out of this $1 million or $10 million or whatever.
Right.
And that's the scam. Is there's never a payout, and I guess that's true with this. Is there's not necessarily a payout. I mean, if you in the prosperity gospel, if you get a payout from somehow, that God's going to steal credit for it, or they're going to steal credit, but it's not necessarily going to be because of your tithing.
Yeah. Though it is also very common for those Nigerian scam letters to be couched in religious language. Right?
Oh, yeah.
To say, well, I'm a preacher in this country, or I'm this good Christian woman in this country. And there's a reason for that, too, and that's called affinity fraud. That is fraud where the victim is manipulated by the idea that, oh, this person who I'm talking to is part of the same group as me. In this case, it would be religion, right? That's why I can trust them.
Yeah, there's all sorts of mechanisms. There's, you have to keep it quiet because of this and that, or I trust you, and therefore, you're a special person. It's playing. That's related to what you were saying. So there's a lot of variations. I get about 5 of these a day. Seriously, I get.
Yeah.
There's some hilarious websites up there where people have responded to them. Like some guy wrote back and identified himself as Colonel Sanders from Kentucky Fried Chicken, and oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Just the lengths to which those scammers are willing to go to fool themselves into believing they've still got you on the hook is pretty amazing.
I've heard of cases where somebody who really knew what they were doing were able to scam the scammers.
Yes, and get a little tiny plastic bag with some gold dust in it or something to prove that it was all true. So anyway, yeah, scams. Anything else, Timothy?
Nope, that's pretty much it.
Thanks for calling, man.
Yep, you too. Have a good day.
Yeah.
You too.
If it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah, wow, people really want to talk about your topic today.
Well, good.
Don. Now we have Stephen in Hampton, Virginia. Stephen? You there?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. I just wanted to share a story with you guys about the prosperity gospel, if I could.
Oh, okay. That'd be great. First-hand stuff is great.
Yeah, my sister is a Christian. She goes to a non-denominational church, and they do this whole thing of, this prosperity thing where they give to the church, they give their time, give their money, and they wait for their blessings. And it's pretty funny because I'm an atheist and, never stepped into a church once, and I've been so, I guess I could use the word blessed. Got a house, got a great job. But her family...
Which you work for, right?
Sorry?
Which you work for, honestly, right?
Yeah, I work hard for it.
Okay,
yeah.
That's a good thing to mention.
Well, but let's be fair, and I don't want to give people the wrong impression of how to live their lives. I have experienced a number of incredible lucky breaks in my life, and I'm also an atheist. So
okay.
I think that may actually
well, sometimes you create your own luck,
yeah, definitely. I hear you.
Yeah. So go on, Steve.
It's funny that she is so, like, her and her family are so, devoted into giving their time and money, and they've had the worst luck for years. They were losing jobs. They have no money. They couldn't get a house they wanted. It's just one bad thing on top of the next. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, they've tried to convert me so many times. I'm like, why would I want to give myself to a God that is not going to help me out when I have all these great things and, I don't need God's help. And they say, well, that's Satan. That's Satan blocking God. Satan's showing you that you can live your life the way you want it, and he is, you want to use the word blessed, Satan is blessing you or cursing you, whatever.
Hey, but if the motivation for worshiping some dude is how much stuff he'll give you, then, Satan apparently is the one who's coming through.
Right, so... Good for him, right? He's got more evidence going for him than God.
To touch on a tangent here, often the ministers hold themselves up as the one you should look at. And the ministers are the ones with the Mercedes and the multi-million-dollar houses and flying around in jets and these sorts of things. And so you're not supposed to look under the hood. You're not supposed to look at the common people who are being taken by the scam. You're supposed to look at the scammers.
And yet, as we said, the minister is the one who is receiving all these regular tithes.
Right.
The most that people can
bring
themselves to part with.
Anyway.
Well, yeah.
So you don't think it's a good idea?
I mean, if they think they're going to get eternal life afterwards, and give up their money, but of course not.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for calling, Stephen.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for the story, and good luck to you. More good luck to you. Now we've got Ali in Chicago, Illinois. Ali, you there?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Am I saying that right? Ali? Ali?
It's actually Ali, but it's
Ali,
okay,
thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, welcome.
What can we do for you?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about something that was actually mentioned on a previous show of yours, and in regards to how moderates cover for fanatics, and just kind of give you back information of what I'm talking about. When I was watching this show, Jeff, you said on episode 634 that beliefs have implications, and that was like the 10-minute, 40-second mark. And then, sorry, Matt.
Yeah, but we're not going to know those things. But
had stated at 1634 that I don't consider them, the moderate believers, to be anything great harm, with the exception of the fact that they provide cover for those who do harm by using the same labels, the same holy books, and the same and all such a thing. So, what I wanted to ask you, I'm sorry, am I interrupting? My fault.
No, please go on.
No, yeah, I'm
with
agreeing with the sentiment. Keep going.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask you actually was, and I understand this is sort of the motivation to also kind of going against moderate believers, wouldn't it be better to actually support the moderate believers against the extremists? Because this sort of argument can be equally applied to non-religious views. For instance, if you don't mind giving some examples, the fact that even though evolution is true, the fact that it's true has also made it the fact that people have misinterpreted it, and, social Darwinists use it for ill means. For instance, Hitler using Nietzsche's writings as some sort of justification for some of his ideas. So couldn't we equally apply this to actual, what you consider very factual beliefs?
Well, I'm not going to argue that people holding factual beliefs are at fault for people misusing factual beliefs, because we've got to, we need to be holding on to factual beliefs. And in that case, I mean, people misusing them are a problem, but the problem's not going to be solved by everybody abandoning the facts, right? See what I'm saying? The cost is too high. Now, when we're talking about non-factual beliefs, abandoning non-factual beliefs in order to reduce the amount of abuse of those non-factual beliefs, the cost is zero.